Chewing time with Korean movies.
It is always joyous to go my maternal grandmother's house. Even though the house is so far from my place, I also feel my grandmother's touch of warm hand. The smell of grandmother's soup in the morning always wakes me up happily. I wait for summer vacation and winter vacation to visit my grandmother in my school day. Even though the way to my grandmother's house is winding, and it takes a long time to get there, just to dream of visiting my grandmother makes me happy. A bright smile with wrinkled face welcomes me in a small cabin on a hill. When a lamp light on the door shines the way home from a distance, I hurry my way to a small cabin on a dark hill. Many people have good memories of grandmother. God sent mother to the earth on behalf of angel. Mother who become grandmother will give all her love to grandchild. Today's movie is a touching story about love of grandmother to grandson. The title of the movie is The Way Home, and the director of this movie is Jong-hyun Lee, who is the best in making natural performance in coincidence and human relationship. Surprisingly, most of the characters in this movie are villagers, except some characters. Never be against nature. That is the moral of this movie. A full anxious mother and a dissatisfied son are on the way to grandmother's house. The road is winding and twisty continuously. The bus is noisy with the chattering and laughter of passengers and the flapping sound of chicken. Boy try to be against the noise with the sound of game machine, but don't care about that. Boy asks mom continuously if grandmother cannot speak here, or if she is bad-tempered or not. But mother answers uninterestingly, for every question. The bus goes back around at the last stop, and the mother and son go through a narrow path between the old tree to the last house of the village. The shabby house stands on the hill, and a bent old woman also looks shabby. The 7-year-old boy, Sang-woo, refused the touch of grandmother and complained the veranda of house is too dirty. The old woman, who cannot speak, looked at him with a sad face, just rubbing her chest. Mother asked his mother to take care of her son Sang-woo for 2 months. Mother hurries back to the city, shaking off the asking of grandmother to stay just 1 day with her. Mother leaves, and Sang-woo reluctantly goes after grandmother, mocking her, dumb idiot, deaf idiot. Sang-woo refused any relationship with grandmother by mixture of a sense of refusal to grandmother and accepted loneliness. He plays alone while making monodrama with game cards and toys. Sang-woo asks grandmother to be near only when he goes to the toilet. Maybe because he feels totally alone when he's in the bathroom. Grandmother does for him what he needs in silence, and when he feels unhappy, he just rubs her chest with a sad face. Sometimes grandmother asks her grandson to thread the needle. Then the boy threads along a needle. The barrels of game machine have run out. When the boy cannot get some money from grandmother, he scribbles to tease grandmother on the wall. He goes to the village to buy a battery with grandmother's silver hairpin, but he is scolded by the shop owner. He gets lost while coming back home. An old man carries a little whipping boy to his grandmother. Grandmother is waiting for him outside for a long time. The boy lingers to come for a while and then go home with her silently. The boy sees her hair fixed with an old spoon. Sango erased the scribble on the wall when grandmother goes to the market to buy a fried chicken. Grandmother buys a big chicken and comes back home in the rain. Boy complains it's not Kentucky Fried Chicken and refuses to eat the food. But when he wakes up at night, he feels hungry and eats the chicken deliciously. And he finds that grandmother is sick because he came back home in the rain. He puts a towel on her head and covers her body with a blanket. The next morning, he set the breakfast for grandmother. Grandmother goes to the market to sell pumpkins and dried wild greens with a sango. Grandmother prayed to passers-by to buy them, but it doesn't look easy to sell them. Sango watches her from a distance. Grandmother buys jjajangmyeon for Sango. The boy looks at grandmother as if she is sorry while eating greedily. But she encourages it with a gesture and just to drink water. She repeats to get on and off the buses one by one, because it's not easy for her to be sure if it is a cracked bus. At last, the driver tells her she's on the right bus, and the driver tells her that her friend in the store wanted to see her, and she can't walk due to the pain in her leg. Grandmother repeats some gesture to Sang-woo, but Sang-woo doesn't know what it means. The bus driver tells the boy that she asks if there is anything the boy wants to eat. Strangely, many people can understand well what grandmother said, except Sang-woo. Grandmother buys some choco pie for her grandson, so she has a little money in her hand. Grandmother waves hand to say goodbye to the friend, and the friend answers, "See you again before I die." She says she has something to do in the market and tells Sang-woo to go home ahead. Sang-woo waits for grandmother at the bus stop. Several buses turn around the bus stop, but grandmother doesn't appear. The boy begins to feel restless. Then it has been a long time. The bent old woman, exhausted, walks along a dusty road. Someone wants to make a friend with a girl whose name is Haeyeon. So He packs all his toys to exchange with her bunny toy, Yopki-Toki. He dresses up to the fullest with a scarf and pulls the bag on the carrier. Sang-woo feels so proud hugging Yopki-Toki because he succeeded in exchanging the toys. He proudly rides on the car to go down the hill. The car goes down fast and he can't control it. The car turns over and gets stuck in the puddle. Sang-woo drags his leg with scars here and there to go back home. He feels lonesome and sad. Suddenly, Choro shouts, "Run away! The crazy cow run after you." Being tired, he thinks. Choro mocks him with a lie. Sang-woo thinks Choro is doing a revenge for mocking the other day with his shouting, "Crazy cows running after you." Good heavens! Real crazy cows running after him, and Sang-woo is frozen there. When Sang-woo is in panic, Choro blocks the cow to make him escape. The arrogant and stubborn boy makes an apology to him truly for the first time. Grandmother is waiting for him with a letter. Mother will come to take him to Seoul tomorrow. Sang-woo tried to teach grandmother Korean letters, and he makes her practice writing two simple sentences. "I miss you," and "I'm sick." But it's not easy for grandmother to write. So, Sang-woo makes some picture cards. "I miss you," "I'm sick." Sang-woo says, "If you are sick, send this card and Sang-woo will come as soon as possible." He threads long old needles for grandmother. When the bus starts, Sang-woo stands up and rushes back to the window and rubs his chest to grandmother. Grandmother remains alone and often sees the picture card. "I miss you. I'm sick." Grandmother rubs her chest to say, "I'm sorry." That makes me remember my grandmother always showed sorry to me, even though she gave everything to me. Now I can understand why my grandmothers always say, "I'm sorry." Because she felt sorry, she couldn't do more for her grandchild. Actually, two sentences, "I'm sorry" and "I love you," mean the same to grandmothers. Now I can understand grandmother and Sang-woo in this movie. Maybe Sang-woo rubbed his chest to say, "I love you." All villagers participate in making this movie, and they all become a family in this movie. That was kind of miracle. This movie is dedicated to all grandmothers all over the world.